What's up, y'all? It's Girl Street Man. How y'all feeling? How y'all doing? I'm doing the stream off for the phone, and I was talking, and I was like, "Can anybody hear me?" And then I realized I had to hit that go live button thing. You know, if no one comes in the room, that's okay. I ain't waiting on nobody. You know, no more time to wait. People been waiting too long. So I hope everybody's doing well tonight. Um, we're gonna talk about final installment. We're gonna give a breakdown of the four locks and keys. Maybe I will feel better that everybody catches a replay on this. It might be better, might not. Anywho, I've been talking about the four locks and the four keys for so long. It's almost as if it turned over on its head because you practice something for so long and then you're in the heat of the moment and totally forget things. That's never cool. That's okay. The four locks and keys are this: by cultivating attitudes of friendliness towards the happy, compassion towards the unhappy, joy towards the virtuous, and disregard for the wicked, the mind self retains its undisturbed calmness. Alright? And I spoke before about talking about the different dimensions or the different aspects to this. You had your perception and the perception of the other person to deal with. And I wanted to talk about a universal perception of these four locks and keys. Now, excuse me, just like the 48 laws of power, there's no emotion involved in understanding the 48 laws of power. The four locks and keys have nothing to do with the universe at hand. Nothing to do with them. These four locks and keys are for humans. Okay? Those of us with an ego-driven mind. Has nothing to do with the universe. Because the universe, unfortunately and fortunately, knows the complete truth. So it cannot operate under the four locks and keys, especially if the universe is here to sustain. You would think that the universe operates under the four locks and keys to create and destroy, but in all actuality, it doesn't do that either. It has its own forces of nature to deal with. You know, something like karma. And karma does not operate under our four locks and keys either, because karma knows the entire truth. Now let me give you an example, because the best type of person to use as an example, what I'm talking about, is a homeless person, right? Now I'm gonna talk about a homeless person in New York City. Them's the type of homeless people that I know. The homeless people in New York City, they differ. All right, you got some that that never want money. They don't want anything, you know. And then you got some, all they want is money. Some of them want cigarettes, drugs. Some of them don't want any of that. You know, I've known homeless people pushing their carts, and you try to give them food or a scarf or something, and they will straight up curse your ass out. Okay? So I'm going to talk about a homeless person in New York City, and I'm going to talk about a poor person in a third world country. All right? So I just explained the homeless person in New York City. There's a lot of reasons why someone might be homeless in New York City. You know, it's not always they on drugs. Okay? Sometimes people go through hard times. They can't afford nothing. Tired of couch surfing. This is where you end up. Single women with children end up like this, especially if they're in a domestic violence situation. You know, it could be anything. When I was a kid, a lot of people were homeless because they were Vietnam vets, and they had to stay on drugs to feel better or to avoid certain memories, things like this. So let's go to friendliness towards the happy, right? Most homeless people in New York City don't look very happy. Okay. But all they want is friendliness for the most part. You know, um, remember there was a homeless guy, and every time somebody would try to give him money, he'd give back the money. All he really wanted was someone to greet him, say hello, treat him like a human being. And I always thought that was really amazing. Like, damn, if I'm homeless and you want to give me some money, I ain't gonna say no. But at the same time, what he wanted was deeper than that. And I'm sure he had his own reasons for being homeless and his own reasoning for, having someone to talk to or, respect him or show him some sort of kindness. And let's talk about the person in a third world country. All right, you go to these so-called third world countries, you go to the Caribbean, and you see people and they look poor. They ain't got no teeth, but they happy as hell. Okay. They are real happy. They not worried about the outside world. They not worried about this and that. You see them, they are dancing a jig whenever they can, doing cartwheels, whatever they could do. And they just live their life and they happy as hell. Right? But let's say you're a tourist coming to New York or even going to that third world country. You might look at that homeless person and be like, they not happy. So you're not going to show them kindness, you know? Because kindness might be a word. Kindness might be something else than giving money, you know? Now the second one, friendliness towards the happy, compassion towards the unhappy. So the universe knows who's happy and who's not, when they're happy and when they're not happy, right? So the homeless person in New York already gave an example of how this can go wrong. Because, like I said, there was a person that I knew. They were homeless. They used to push their cart and have their things, right? It was a woman. And I would see this woman on the train all the time, and I would be like, okay, do you need this? Do you need that? Do you need that? And she'll get mad and be like, no, I don't want that. And she will yell at people. I don't want nothing from you. I don't want anything from you. Da da da. And I'll be like, damn, why this lady yelling at everybody? They just trying to help her, right? But then one day I said to the lady, I said, why you don't want nothing from nobody? She said, because I don't need nothing from nobody. Whatever I need, I got it right here in my cart. And what I didn't know is, homeless people in New York, they protect what they got to the fullest. Okay, what little they got, what little they can carry. They holding that down. Shit. They'd do anything to keep their little bit of thing. So the lady explained to me that she don't want nobody energy on her, right? She don't want me to give her something. She don't know where that scarf came from or what it did or where it been and blah, blah, blah. Clearly she ain't got no money to wash it or whatever, right? She don't want nobody titty money. She don't want nobody sock money. She didn't want none of that. She was very happy with where she was and what she had. And when people tried to show her their version of compassion, she was upset like hell. When I asked her a question to her, that was compassion, you know? It's weird. And then let's go to the third world person who's poor but is happy as hell. Now, most people, they'll go to a third world country and see somebody they think is poor, and they be like, oh, let me help you, let me give you this, let me give you that. Some people ain't dumb. They be like, all right, I'm going to take it. But you ain't changed their life in no way. Not a lick. You know, they just learn like, oh, okay, they want to give me some. Okay, cool. Well, let's flip that around. Okay, let's flip that around. Let's say you're a visitor to a third world country, right? And you know these people are poor, and you give them something, and they give you back something. But you don't want to take it. What is that? You know what I'm saying? Because that happens a whole lot. A whole lot. I'll give you an example. So my Guru Dev was a real Swami. He was a vegan, a breatharian, meaning, you know, there were times he only ate the air. A fruitarian, all of that, right? But he would always tell this story. Now, a monk is not supposed to accept gifts. They're not. All right? If they accept the gift, it will usually go, you know, towards a charity or something like that. They'll do something else with it, you know? But when you deal with poor people and they're giving a gift to you, it's a different thing. So one day somebody asked my Guru Dev, would you ever eat meat? And he said he has already. And they were like, what? What do you mean you ate meat before? So he's from India, so he's been to many different places where there are poor people. And he helped them for free, you know? Set up a school or clean up the place, something, right? And he told the story of how some of these villages, the only thing they could offer him was meat. That was their way of showing gratitude to him, because for them, meat was a luxury, you know, and it was their custom that, you know, somebody they honor, they're going to give him meat. Now, he could have just said thank you and walked away and throw the meat out and all of that. But what would happen if they wanted a whole ceremony on it, right? They wanted to have a whole ritual and all this to celebrate him, a party. What are you going to do, say no and disrespect the people in their tradition? Nope. He's going to say a prayer over that food, bless it up, and take a couple of bites. All right? It's not to appease people. Well, in a way it is, but it's a form of respect. So, you know, friendliness towards the happy. He didn't want to make them unhappy, so he showed a little compassion, you know, for them, and he gonna have to show compassion for his belly. But that didn't mean like he's a pork eater and all that other stuff. You understand? It goes a whole bunch of ways, and the universe is not gonna determine all of that for you. You have to determine it for yourself. So let's get to joy towards the virtuous. As far as the human perception is concerned, the universe don't do that. You know, in many we've seen many examples of those who are virtuous not being joyful or not being shown any kind of joy whatsoever. Right? They go through a lot of pain and suffering and things like this. But they virtuous as hell. Take your boy Jesus, for example. Right? Some people debate how virtuous Jesus really was, but we can assume that if Jesus is the son of God, he's pretty up there on virtuosity, right? And he suffered a great deal. And I ain't talking about not getting no poom. Okay? His whole life was based on choices he had no control over, you know? And if I know at 12 years old that I'm going to die at 33 for everybody, I'm going to be joyous. I wouldn't know, you know, and I'm sure Jesus found joy in the little things, little human things, right? He had to find his own joy. If I was an apostle, would I know how to make Jesus happy except to be my dumbass self? Maybe that'll make him smile. You know what I mean? It's different ways to show joy. So going back to the homeless people, right, or the poor people, if I'm a tourist and I'm looking at them, I don't know no better. I'm gonna look at them like they unhappy, they ain't got no joy. I'm just gonna assume that and do X, Y, and Z. Not take a look in their heart, not try to get to know who they are, to really have that discernment to say these people are unhappy, so let me show them this. You know? And when I say joy, the actual word is delight, right? I remember a long time ago when I had my locks, I was talking to a Rasta, 12 tribes Rasta, and they're different factions of Rastafari. But what this person said to me was that anybody who don't know about Most High Jah or Jesus is gonna burn in hell. And I said to him, really? That's not right. He was like, what you mean that's not right? I said, so you mean to tell me thousands of generations of your African ancestors are sitting in hell right now because they had no concept of Jesus, who wasn't even born yet, but still probably lived a good and pure life? They probably followed all the commandments, not even knowing that they're doing that. And they're going to go to hell too? I said, what about the people who can't read? So he had to pause, because even in New York City, there's a lot of illiterate people out here that don't know how to read. So I said, they don't even know how to read. So if they didn't read the word, you know what I'm saying? They going to hell? What if there's a person who was born with an affliction and they can't even get out of bed? So it's not like they could go to church or something, you know? Are they going to go straight to hell? I said, what about all these Chinese people? You like Kung Fu movie and all that. They have a rich history. Them people going to hell because some of them look like they live better and more pure life than we today. But you're going to tell me that because all these people in present day know about Jesus and Most High, and they still committing sins, and they still going against what that word said, they not going to go to hell? Is that what you're saying to me? And he had to look, and he had to be like, damn, I didn't even think about it like that. Yeah. That's why these four locks and keys have nothing to do with the universe. That's right. Well, you call it Most High, you call it Jah, Jesus, whatever. It's nothing to do with the source. The source already know what it puts out. And it will do what it needs to do accordingly. Because the source, it knows more about time than we do. You know what I mean? They say everything in due time. So if I see somebody that's unhappy, I may not show them compassion right away. Or the compassion I show them might not look like what they want. You know what I mean? The universe is privy to all of this. And we not. Because we don't know somebody else's past. We don't know somebody else's future. A lot of times we don't even care about their present moment. We don't care about what they're going through. For what? For my own problems. So if that's the case, if we were to think like that for real, like I ain't got time to think about what's going on with them. I got my own problems. It would make sense for you to use the four locks and keys on yourself. But we don't even do that. The same way you sit there and look at that person and be like, shoot, I got my own problems. You don't even look at your own problems. You don't go inward and look at your own problems. What? That's too much work. Okay? You looking for help from the outside. You looking to the outside, and there's no looking within. This shit gotta be two-dimensional, but it gotta start with you. and then it can extend to other people. You know what I mean? That's how you want it to work. That's not always how it's gonna work, but that's how you want it to work. All right? And let's go to the final one, because the final one is tricky as hell. Okay? Disregard for the wicked. Now, most black people are gonna know that the universe ain't got nothing to do with disregard for the wicked. Okay? Because according to black people, there's a whole heap of races out here doing wicked ass shit. And ain't nobody disregarding nothing. They celebrating that motherfucker, especially if it benefits them, right? There's a way to end racism. There sure is. Don't sound like it, but there is. And I'm going to give you this theory. And then when I give you the theory, you're going to be like, you're right, Shree. Yeah, of course it's you're right, Shree. Now, most of this racism here is against black people, right? You know, if white people stood up for black people, like for real, they end a whole lot of racism. Listen to what I'm saying to you. If a black person went into a store, right, and they ain't got no problem, they sitting there, they, looking at clothes, they going about, and somebody's following them because they think, oh, they black, they're going to steal something. What if a white person decided, yo, I don't think that's right. What are you doing? That's wrong right there. I'm going to complain about that. You think they're going to continue doing it? No. They kind of won't. Let's say a black person gets mistreated in a store, like another store. You know what I mean? Somehow, some way. If a white person said, yo, I'm not coming to your store no more because you treating this black person wrong and you treat me right. I want everybody to be treated like me. I'm not coming back to your shit. Now people will change their tune, change their mind, just off of money. Yeah, it's something to consider. Like, wow, that don't mean I want white people to save my day, but it is some sort of a solution because it's their laws and they benefit from it, right? So it makes sense for them to disregard that wicked behavior, but they don't, you know? They let it go. That ain't happening to me. And then on the flip side, you see when people do, show compassion, try to help somebody, they get the short end of the stick too. How many domestic violence people who tried to help out in domestic violence said, nah, I'm not fucking with them no more. Because the dude was beating the hell out of this chick. I stepped in, stopped the fight, and she was back with him 2 days later, all hugged up to get her ass beat again. I'm done. The wicked behavior is still continuing. And you tired of trying to disregard it your way. So now you want to disregard it another way by ignoring the shit and letting it continue. You see, there's two ways to disregard. You could disregard it by ignoring it, or you could disregard it by saying something about it, right? We always got to remember that according to the universe, it's not disregard the wicked person, it's disregarding the wicked behavior. Now, if the person don't want to change their behavior, okay, that's another thing. But let's talk about that. Let's talk about wickedness real quick. You know what I'm saying? Because once again, we got these things called the 10 Commandments, right? And one of them commandments is, thou shalt not steal. Okay? So if you stealing, you wicked as fuck. All right? And we got to disregard that shit. So eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. You stealing? I'm cutting off your hand. But what if the person that stole was a little boy? And the only reason why he stole was because he was hungry. And he was begging for money for like 6 hours and didn't get nothing. So the only thing he could do was to steal. He didn't ask to be homeless. He didn't ask to be destitute. It just happened that way. He's just a little boy. So now, do we cut off his hand? there was a time, yes, his hand would get cut off too. But clearly the universe knew something different. And you would think if the universe knew that this little boy was unhappy, he had to do what he had to do, why the universe ain't step in, show compassion to the little boy, and help him find some food? Maybe in a weird ass way, the universe did help him. Here's the food. What's your only choice to steal it? Go ahead, Wody. Because clearly the universe let him steal it, right? Most High said, go do what you gotta do. And then disregarding the wicked behavior, nowadays, people will be like, we're gonna disregard in a different way. We're gonna figure out what's the problem instead of, what's the end result. Oh, he stole, so we're not gonna cut off his hand. What we wanna do is figure out why he's stealing. He's an orphan. Let's find him a family. You see what I'm saying? They're disregarding the real behavior that's coming off wicked, right? And the little boy ain't wicked. He only doing what he know to do. Ain't nobody taught him no better, But the universe ain't stepping in. It's not like God is gonna stick his hand and be like, no, don't do that. You can only hope and pray that there's a compassionate human being that sees where the true unhappiness lies and sees where the real wickedness is and be able to step up and say, yo, this is this and this is what happens. And then who's even going to listen to them? You understand? Look how humans do. Why would the universe step in? There's a whole lot of humans on this damn planet. And I know the Most High is omnipotent, omnipotent, and omnipresent. I don't even think he want to use all them damn hands to step in and blah, blah, blah. Because at the same time, if the universe was to step in every single minute that you slip and fall, how you going to learn anything? You're not. How many times you see the baby trying to walk and you want to help it? Yeah. But the best way to help the baby is to step away from them and have them walk towards you. And if they fall, you okay? Good. Get up. Come on. Up. You can't help them all the time because then they're not going to learn how to do nothing. But these 4 locks and keys is all about how to help someone. So should humans take the God route? No. Because you ain't God. You got God in you, but you ain't God. No. Half of us don't even know what being human is. Half of us don't know what help looks like or really feels like. They think help is one thing, or they'll look at someone else and see them. Oh, they're getting all the help. They get all the money. They get all the support. But is that really support? Is that really help? Or is it an earning, which could be different? They got a lot of people that mooch out here. And you would look at them and be like, oh my gosh, they're the best. No, they're a fucking moocher. They just know how to fool your ass. But the universe knows. The universe knows more than we do. So the moral of the story is, don't expect Most High to do certain things that you need to do for yourself. Do those 10 commandments that's in the Bible apply to God? No, but we put God to that standard. And we really, and you know what? Half the time we don't. Okay? Thou shalt not steal. And heads could say, God steal from us all day, all night. Right? He's stealing my soul. He's stealing my livelihood. He's allowing these motherfuckers to do this and do that to me. But I ain't going to say nothing about God. I ain't going to blaspheme against God. I'm going to just let him do it. It is what it is. I'm still going to call on God to help me. And I'm sure there's plenty of people that was like, yo, I called for God to help me. I called for, he didn't help me with nothing, right? But maybe he did, and you just ain't see it. This is why you cannot apply these rules to the universe, because the universe operates in ways we don't know, we don't understand right away, or we may not understand at all. We got lessons to learn. There's things we gotta earn, you know? One of these days we'll talk about real discernment and how that comes about, or how it's supposed to come about, at least in the yoga version, right? It's always one thing to read up on something and know about it, but you gotta practice it sometimes. And that's when you stumble and you fall and you go through this. So if the universe knows that you're practicing, what you're going to practice? You're going to practice the 4 locks and keys. Who are you going to practice the 4 locks and keys on? The hardest person to practice it on is yourself first. Especially if you're the type of person like me to beat yourself up. Worse than anybody else could beat you up. Right? Take everything personally. It's hard to apply the 4 locks and keys to yourself. But when you apply it to yourself, you learn how it's supposed to look for other people. Or you learn how it looks when someone gives it back to you. You know what I'm saying? Or you learn to appreciate it. It may not be the way you wanted it to happen, but it happened. You know what I mean? I'll give you an example. I'm broke. I need money to pay rent, right? And I need about $200 so that I can pay my rent and I'll be straight. You know what I mean? And I asked person A for $200. And person A is like, I ain't got $200, but I got $20. That ain't help? Fuck yeah, that's help. But most people be upset with that. Damn, all they're giving me is 20? Shit, 20 better than nothing. Okay? They showed compassion to your unhappy ass. They were friendly to you because they tried to give you something. Now, if you were virtuous and you know, was content with that and appreciated it, you might have seen some delight. But then you might fuss. And what they going to do? They're going to disregard you next time. They're going to be like, what? You don't want this $20? I'll take it back. Fuck you mean? I ain't got no problems doing that. Okay? No problems whatsoever. Taking this shit back and never giving you nothing again, ungrateful motherfucker. Yeah, it be's like that. It really does be like that. And it be's like that with the universe, with one exception, right? You pray to God, oh, I need some money for this rent, Lord, help me. And the Lord say, I'm going to send this motherfucker to give you $20. And you might fuss. You mad at the Lord. But what you don't know is the universe might be like, yo, okay, that person gave $20. We're going to find 9 more people to give your ass $20. But you so busy fussing, you ain't going to see that respect for the truth. How's everything? What's up, niggas? Give thanks. Yeah, so what if the Most High said, yo, I got 9 more people lined up with $20, but you fussing, right? And you mad, and you close that door. Did the universe have to disregard your wicked behavior? No. you disregarded your own wicked behavior by closing the door of opportunity that the universe tried to give you. A lot of people don't see that. They don't understand that shit. Content is content. You know? A lie is a lie. You can tell a little white lie or a big black lie, it's still a lie. Everything cool, mind you, for real. Everything cool, Chris and Curry, for real. Has to be. Even when it's not Father True. Even when it's not. Has to be cool, Chris and Curry. Especially when it's not. You know? A wise woman told me that, you know, you don't use your healing practices when you are happy. You use your healing practices when you actually need healing. And that's facts. I've been hearing that for the longest time. Ever since I started doing yoga. People got it backwards. I do yoga every day when I'm happy. Yoga makes me happy. But when you mad as fuck, do you do yoga then? No. Or maybe sometimes we do, right? But we not doing that, right? Yoga shit. Hey, Miss Raz, how you doing, hon? We're gonna talk about that exercise again. I gotta catch up on you with that exercise. I meant to send you some things. But yeah, it's crazy. It's a crazy balance we have to have. We have to understand or whatever. So once again, how do you determine in yoga which lock and key to use? How do you figure out your discernment, if it's on point or if you got any at all? How do you achieve this union? Yoga chitta vritti nirodha. The restraint of the modifications of the mind stuff is yoga. How the hell do we do that? What's that look like? Your first step is to breathe. That's the next sutra. The next sutra talks about pranayama and breathing. Okay? Taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out. The Yoga Sutras is not going to tell you how to do pranayama specifically, how to do hatha yoga specifically, how to do all these different things specifically. It's going to tell you how your mind works and how to work your mind. It's going to tell you how to calm down this ego. Father True, that is definitely facts. But if people never grew up with real respect, how they going to know what it looked like or how to give it? You know what I'm saying? That goes back to the humanity. Because a lot of people aren't treated as human. So how are they going to know how to give certain human traits like respect? You know what I'm saying? They say respect your elders. So here's a perfect example. Respect your elders, right? But not every elder is respectful, or worthy of respect. Right? Not every elder is like that. So do we make it a blanket statement and just respect all the elders? I mean, I know people that have done it and been like, yo, you're an idiot, but because you're an elder, I'm going to respect you this much. You know what I mean? But, Father True, what I want to tell you is the fourth lock and key, disregarding the wicked, has to do with respect. Okay? Because you have to do it respectfully. Everything, the first three locks and keys have to do with understanding, empathy, things like this, you know. But the main thing about the last one is respect. And what is respect? That's the real thing. What's respect? Because a lot of people don't know how to apply it. Let's give an example of these YouTube streets. All right? Somebody will feel one way about something, and somebody else will feel the total opposite way. Where would the respect come in? Hey, Navi, how you doing? The respect would come in if one or both parties say, you know what? I don't agree with what you're talking about, but I'm still cool. We're going to agree to disagree. That's respect right there to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? That is all respect. Because there's no hard feelings, no grudges, no none of that. Right? But then, One person agree, one person disagree, and everybody wants to be righter than right. I want to be the rightest one. I want to be the most right. So I ain't gonna respect shit you say or shit you do. I'm not even gonna respect you as a person. Hey, Father, I'm gonna give you another example of respect. Yeah? All right. So I'm a West Indian, okay? And I don't know how many West Indians are out there, but I'm gonna tell everybody West Indians were raised, especially back in the days, not to like Batiman, not to like Chichiman, none of them things. There was a time where even Bokyat was not respected. Bokyat means when you suck out something. When you suck out a poom or you suck up a peen, all that was disgusting too. No respect for that, right? So I was raised as a child to think ill will of gay people, right? Raised like that. But then after a while, I grew up and I said, yo, I saw that not every gay person was a demon or a devil. Some of these gay people had stronger love for their partner than any heterosexual person. So I had to learn to respect love. All right? I don't have to respect this person and what they do. I don't have to agree with being gay or not being gay, but I'm gonna respect the love that comes if they love somebody. I'm gonna respect that to the fullest. You understand? It's about what we respect, how we show respect. And sometimes showing respect is just letting people live, exercising free will. But there's a flip side to that too. Because if you see somebody raping somebody, what are you gonna do? Respect that? Hell no. You wanna get they monkey ass. That's not a respectable thing. That's wicked. That's outright wicked. Okay? But herein lies the problem. What you determine is wicked is based on your perception, and how you deal with that wicked is also based on your perception. And sometimes what you deem to be wicked may not be as wicked. It might be a level 2 wicked, but you're applying a level 200 punishment on a level 2 wicked, and then that make no sense. It's like with the little boy who was poor and decided to steal. You gonna chop off his hand or you gonna chop off a pinky finger? You know what I'm saying? Which one? If he stole a pack of Tic Tacs, okay, we're gonna chop off his pinky finger. What? What if he stole some water out of a well and didn't know the well belonged to anybody? No, he got to die. Really? And see, this is where women have a conundrum, because one of the commandments should be thou shalt not rape, right? But one of the commandments is thou shalt not kill. So what if a man try to rape me and I kill his ass? Most of these women are gonna be like, yo, send me to jail. I don't give a fuck. Because you're not gonna go off. I had to defend myself. I had to kill this person to defend myself. You're just gonna be like, oh, but you killed him. Word, fuck it then. It's all good. And that's facts. Mankind too unjust. But how do we get mankind to be more just? The universe ain't gonna step in, not overall. It is. It's a process like a motherfucker. And the process is not always progress. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the process is a regress. Sometimes you gotta digress. All that is a part of the process. Shit, how do we weed them all out? Because Father True, let's put it like this. Somebody could do something one time, right? And they tell you they're never going to do that again. And you believe them and they keep doing it, right? Then when the next person come along who say I'm never going to do that again, it's a one-time thing, and they really about that, you're not going to believe their ass. And you're going to apply the same thing. Exactly. But who's the king? You understand? I'm sure you are king, right? But there's a lot of people out here who think they are kings and think they act like kings, but they're not kings at all. And they expect the same things you expect. So let's put it in that perspective. You a king, right? You a negus. And then there's somebody out there, they think they are negus too. But they not no fucking negus. They a peasant like a motherfucker. But me, I met that fake ass negus first, right? And they snaked me and they fucked me over. So now, when a king like you come along, Father True, I'm like, nah. You not no negus. You fake too. But you could be the realest motherfucker out. But how am I gonna know that if my vision is now clouded? You know, my heart is closed. My discernment is fucked up now. You know, I'm sure you are. I believe it. But like I said, if I met somebody before you and they wasn't no real king, it's gonna be a lot harder for me to see your kingly character. You understand what I'm saying? And that happens a lot. It's people that overlook real people and overlook the true people that they need in their life because right before they met the true person, they met somebody that wasn't real. So instead of them saying, yo, no matter what happened, I'm going to keep my eyes open. I'm going to keep my heart open. And I'm not going to approach everybody the same. They tend to put on the rose-colored glasses, put the blinders over their eyes like horse. You know what I mean? That's it. That's fucking it. Because that's how, exactly. But that's how people protect themselves. That's how the ego protect itself. You know? It's a crazy world. It's a lot to deal with. And, you know, maybe the universe is tired of trying to figure these motherfuckers out. You know what? Fuck it. These humans supposed to go through this shit. So let them go through it, man. We sleep. We gotta make sure the earth is spinning and the rest of the universe is popping. And these motherfuckers don't know what's going on past a light year. So we gotta handle all these other light years out here. Okay? Shit. These motherfuckers don't know about Beetlejuice. It's about to blow up tomorrow. And they ain't gonna feel nothing for 20 years. We got to handle that. It's a learn response, Navi. It's a programming. All of that. All of that. But then you gotta figure out, okay, we know it's a learn response. We know it's programming. Facts. But there's people out there, they know that too. And they want to stay ignorant. They want to stay under the cover. Like they know what's above the cover. They're like, fuck that. I don't want to be ignorant. I want to be blind. Yeah, it's easier to be sheep. Don't you know the path to enlightenment and then bettering yourself, self-care and self-love is full of all kinds of shit. You get frustrated. You get mad. You feel betrayed. You feel alone. You feel all kind of shit. The fuck? You're like so mad at these fucking sheep. Why you ain't learning nothing? Why you don't? Fuck wrong with you? And then people tell me, oh, you can't worry about them. But ain't they humans like fucking me? Fuck. And I'm supposed to help humanity? Help your human ass out. Make sure you ain't sheep. And there's times where we will be sheeple too. You feel me? There's times where somebody gonna look at us and be like, yo, you sheep too. You following these people? Because they don't know. They don't know no better. They don't know who is who. Like, you know a person, that person is the truth, right? The other person don't know no better. What the fuck is wrong with you? You a sheep. Okay. Yeah, okay, I'll be sheep, right? This is where your discernment comes in. Well, you gotta realize the person don't know me. So for them to say ba ba ba, my value, my worth, my discernment is more. And people even do that with fucked up discernment. So what you gonna do? I guess this is how the universe feels. Like, man, listen, we know their discernment ain't shit. Well, what we gonna do? Help their ass anyway? Come on. Yep, and have to push through that's it. That's it. And a lot of times, Navi, people don't even know or realize they're being negative because they don't know your story. They don't know your backstory. They don't know what you're going through. Or they not cognizant of it in the present moment, you know? So people just say things, they do things, and it's ignorance, fear. It could be based off of all these things. They say ignorance is bliss, yo. It sure is. Because let's give a child, for example. You know what I'm saying? Does a child know when it's being negative? Sometimes they do. But a lot of times they just testing the waters, right? Sometimes they just only speaking what the fuck they know. Use your words. Only words they know is no and hell no. Okay? Cry and fart. Them the only languages they know. What you gonna do? You gonna call them negative? You gonna call them bad? No, you try to teach them what's right. You try to teach them what's positive. You try to show them another way. But a lot of people don't do that neither. So, you know what I mean? The last lock and key, disregard for the wicked. My battery's gonna die soon, so this might get cut off at any time. And I'm gonna cut it off real soon. Um, disregard for the wicked. It involves respect. You understand? And it involves all these things: respect, understanding, compassion. Even a little bit of the light, especially when you know that this person is virtuous and they might be doing a wicked thing because they have to, or they might be doing a wicked thing for the good in the end. And not everybody sees all that, you know? Let's take a martyr, for example. I'm a slave on a slave ship on my way to America, and I decide to jump off and die. I'm really disregarding some wicked behavior, okay? But technically, I'm being wicked too if you follow certain traditions of me killing myself. Which one? Which one is the virtuous one? You know what I'm saying? Who's more virtuous? Me sticking around and going through slavery, or me jumping off the ship, killing my motherfucking self? See? We don't always know that, but the universe understands. The universe is always compassionate. The universe is always delightful. Whether you see it or not, whether you understand it or not, even when you don't understand it, it stays what it is. It stays the same. And this is why the universe ain't got nothing to do with these four locks and keys. Nothing. Don't hold the universe to these standards here. Because the universe got one leg up on all of us. All right? Exactly, Navi. Time tells all, and the universe knows more about time than we do. Shit, we fear the fuck out of time, Navi. We hate time because time leads to death. Time leads to fears. Time leads to wrinkles, all this extra shit. It leads to decay. So nobody don't like it. Nobody don't want to see it, read it, hear it, none of that. Fuck time. I want to live forever. I don't want to live forever. Fuck that. My grandma lived until 100, and I thought she was suffering like a motherfucker. All her friends was dead. A lot of shit she couldn't do. Shit, hit me up to 95, and then we'll talk. All right? With that, I got to go because my battery's at 1%. Thank you for everybody that came through. Thank you to everybody that joined in the chat. I appreciate you. Y'all have a great night. I ain't putting nothing up. You ain't got to donate the shit today. It's all good. Y'all take care. Peace and blessings.